Big weekend of racing. We've got Group 2 action at Pakenham on Friday night into Caulfield Saturday, Lamby.
Yep, and then we've got the big Tin meeting on Sunday as well. And there's a prominent food blogger in the Self Trumpeter votes this week.
And the quiz about Hong Kong goes right down to the wire.
Coming up now, Hold All Tickets. Welcome back to another episode of Hold All Tickets. Hope you're enjoying yourself. Long weekend coming up this weekend. Lads, it was an interesting weekend up there on the Gold Coast. Kieran Ma dominated. 8 winners across 3 states, including the 2-year-old Magic Millions winner, but tough day.
Yeah, some rough results up there. I couldn't have had the 2-year-old winner on what it had done previously, but Kieran Ma, he can just get him up for the big grand finals. And obviously the 3-year-old result was very controversial, Brown Dog, with the protest.
Yeah, and Benny Mellon has fired back to a few of his critics online as well. What did you think about that?
Yeah, he's got a bit of a habit of doing that. I think he got stuck into Sam Hyland one day as well, maybe after a couple of sherbets on a Saturday night.
Yeah.
Just jumped on the social media. But no, it's good. It's good to see Jock show a little bit of personality.
Will he feature later, maybe, perhaps?
Oh, okay.
In what?
Self Trumpeters.
Oh, Self Trumpeters. No, he didn't make the cut.
I personally love a little bit of friction between trainers, jockeys.
That doesn't surprise me, given your history.
Let's jump straight into the racing this weekend because Friday night we've got the Australia Stakes, usually at Moonee Valley, but it's at Pakenham this year round. And Schwartz was the winner last year. I think V8 won it the year before, and Black Caviar's won it a couple of times. Small field of 8, Lamby.
Yeah, a bit different having it at Pakenham this time around. I don't think Schwartz would have won it if it was at Pakenham last year. Got a pretty soft lead and they couldn't catch him on an on-pace dominated track there. But I think this race sets up beautifully for War Machine. He's very short in the market, but deserves to be. I mean, he's 113 rater, extremely well suited underweight for age scale. Look at his last 2 starts. I mean, he was pretty ordinary in the Everest. He was disappointing there. And then Russell Balding was a wet track and wasn't great. But, I mean, it's a huge drop from those 2 races into this. So he was awesome winning the Gilgai when fresh, and he always comes to hand very quickly. His fresh record is excellent. Maps for a soft run, and I think should sprint way too quickly for these. That the horse that I've never really had a huge opinion of, I don't think he's super genuine, but Hedged on the map seems to get a really soft time of it up front in the small field. Just really ordinary last start, but that was down the straight, so might improve back around a bend. But yeah, I think it's War Machine's race to lose.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's a class above, but if anyone's looking for any sort of value, I've gone your man Nadal.
Oh.
Jeez, yeah.
We can't mention that name again in 2026.
Fifth time lucky? Fifth time's a charm?
He's not his man anymore. He's sacked him, thank God.
One of the more disappointing horses of the spring. I thought it would come back in good order and hasn't really delivered. But I think on ratings and class, War Machine's just a dead set moral. And I don't say that lightly, but $1.55 seems a pretty good price. You can anchor that in whatever multi you want leading into Saturday.
I will be.
And yeah, I didn't think its Everest run was too bad. It was only beaten 3 lengths.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I think I backed it for the place there. So I really gave it a strong chance there. So I was a little bit disappointed that it couldn't get into the top 4. But yeah, an Everest run against this sort of field stacks up pretty well.
So the former Mike Moroney runner that's gone to the Hazers, and they've had it since last May, 6 starts for 4 wins plus an Everest.
And extremely unlucky without its first start. I think it was in the Hariba at Mornington, should have bolted it that day. So, yep.
Take the $1.55 and run, punters. That's the push here on Hold All Tickets. Then we go to Saturday. The Manfred race 8 is the Group 3. A little bit more of an open affair, this one. Salty Pearls for the Mars stable is $5.50. Job done. Mick Price, Mick Kent Jr. hovering around that $6 quote, as is Romantic Encounter. Custom $6 as well. So there's 3 there on the second line of betting. Space Rider $7, Miss Soleil $9.50, Cyberlink $10. That is as open a market as you'll probably see.
Yeah, it is. I mean, most of these are fresh first up, so it makes it even trickier. But generally, this race is a little sort of autumn stepping stone for the 3-year-olds. So some follow a path to the Oz Guineas and others stick to sprinting trips. So it's a bit of a fork in the road for these horses early on. Custom and Salty Pearl finished alongside each other when they clashed over 1,200 at the Valley last prep. I think Salty Pearl is the better horse of the 2, but maybe 1,200 fresh Custom can knock her off. Recent jump out at Cranny was very sharp. It was good early total lead and travelled sweetly to win that. Barrier 4 here, so should get every chance. So I think Custom can beat Salty Pearl, who will improve into the prep. It'll be better over 1400, 1600 as we saw last time. And the horse that I'm absolutely penning is Miss Olay. I think the jury's out. Really poor return. Form around her last prep is sketchy at best. So she's one you can bet around. But yeah, Custom for me in an open race, that's for sure.
Do you like one here, Marcus?
Yeah, I didn't mind Salty Pearl. I'm actually going to go against Lamby here, but with Ben Allen on board, just got a great relationship with the horse. 4 places in the 5 runs, including two victories. We'll have to do a lot in the last 400 based off the speed map, but I think it's got everything.
I think she's a quality. I mean, she was just behind the place getters in the Group 1 1,000 guineas, which was a pretty hot form race going forward. So yeah, she's a quality horse. I just think maybe 1200 Custom can knock her off, but Salty Pearl will turn the tables later in the prep.
I leant towards Job Done here, which had been getting the job done first 2 runs this prep, and massive excuses last start when completely bombed the start. I think the saddle slipped, and the horse still sort of had the audacity to run well into third. So with a little bit of even luck, and Tommy Stockdale, great to see him.
It's got the fitness edge too on quite a few of these first uppers. Good
to see Tommy Stockdale get a big win there. So around the mark there, we're not going too wide in that race. The WJ Adams, the listed sprint race over the 1,000 metres, and one of my favourites, Beast Mode, deserved favourite at $3.10. Oak Hill is $3.90. GG Smith Truth $4. Way to the Stars $8. Beast Mode for mine. I know I tip it all the time, but last start when it got collared, it carried 60.5 kilos, drops to 55 for Saturday's race, and most of its wins over the 1,000 metres has been when it hasn't had to lump that big weight. So I'm very much in its camp.
I'm not
surprised.
Surprise. I'd also be on Beast Mode if Midwest wasn't in the race.
Right, okay.
I think Midwest could be the fly in the ointment there, because it's also drawn inside of Beast Mode, so they'll go like the absolute clappers.
You just think that they'll just take each other on.
Cut each other's throats up front. So I've gone with Oak Hill, drawn out, but the field should string right out because of Midwest and Beast Mode. So I think Oak Hill probably slots in one off in the last few. Doesn't have a lot of early speed, but 3 from 4 went fresh. Awesome winning first up over this trip at the Valley last prep. Didn't have a lot of luck after that. Drew right out in the Group 1 Moya Stakes. Pretty well fancied in that. Like SP in a Group 1 stacks up well here. And 1 from 1 over the Caulfield 1,000. I think might just have the last crack at Midwest and Beast Mode. But yeah, it just depends on that first 100. If Beast Mode can shake off Midwest and run his own race, then he's the horse to catch for sure.
Yeah, if Celine Gaudray can get to the front and just be able to dictate things, it's
if you go through the floor for both of those runners though, both of them always lead.
That's right.
One of them's going to, throw the towel in.
You won't miss them, both in the red silks and Midwest a bit of value as well, $11. But I am leaning towards Oak Hill. Like you mentioned, just drawn a bit wide, a little bit of a concern, but I'll back that for this race here.
I'll be going like the Clappers, there's no doubt about that. It's also the fillies and the Colts and Geldings Blue Diamond previews, and the fillies is a little bit more wide open than the Colts and Geldings. We'll first have a look at the fillies. Angel's Fury's the favourite. Haven't seen her just yet. $3.40 for the Kiramar stable. Jadzia is $5. Khan's a Khan. Is that how you say that? $7.50. Streisand, which we've seen a couple of times from Clint McDonald's stable. This was a really open race, one that I wouldn't be prepared to be betting or tipping in, but very interesting to see who can run well here leading into bigger and better things.
Yeah, I'd probably have a bet on if Euro Canto gives them a touch-up in the boys' edition, then I'd probably have something on Streisand here because she finished a very close second to him on debut. Barrier 11 is the concern. The other one I might back is Jadzia. Went like a rocket in a recent trial, and Graham Begg striking at over 25% at Caulfield over the last 12 months. So very dangerous at Caulfield, but yeah, tough race, the fillies, that's for sure.
And Colts and Geldings a little bit more clear cut. Euro Canto's 370, as you mentioned. Alibaba's one that I really liked on debut and found one better on that particular occasion, but Ken and Casey Keys have got a really good horse there. Mission Point 650, Our Brave Boy 650, Invicto as well. So smaller field, and we've seen a couple of these horses go around before.
Yeah, I think Euro Canto, really impressive win down the straight on debut, was held up in behind them Zara got him to the outside and showed a lovely turn of foot once he, got through his gears and drawn perfectly in barrier 3. I think it'll take a good one to beat him on what we've seen so far. So Euro Canto for me in the boys edition.
Oh, I agree. I think it's suited really well for this sort of run, and everything that Lamby mentioned, spot on.
Mark Zara's probably the only jockey in the country that's not disappointed that he's injured at the moment. Obviously broke his leg, but he gets a Super Bowl trip, which he would have done anyway. Yeah. He just doesn't have to go 24 hours in and out now.
He misses the ride on 10 Tyrus in the Lightning, but it sounds like he's going to get back for the Newmarket.
And Damien Lane picked that ride up too. So
hopefully he's not sharing a room with Jared Waitley.
Yeah, that'd be an interesting room with Jared Waitley. Black Booker time. Is there any that you wanted to add to the Black Book?
Yes. Firstly, I'll start with the outs. Wrigley Field, Gonski. Yeah, every possible last week. Loomed up, didn't finish off, so time to jump off Wrigley. He's gone. I'm adding Flying Khan, which is sort of your areas. It's a maiden from the bush. It was a very average steer at Camperdown last Saturday. All over the shop in the straight. Should have gone closer. So he can definitely win a country maiden very soon. And the other one I want to add is Ambassadorial. Was incredibly stiff not to win at Flemington last start. And the horse who beat him, Fear Not, is a very promising stayer. So I think you can follow Ambassadorial wherever it goes next. But they're the two I'm adding this week. Browny, yourself?
Adding one called Ripper for Paul Pruska that ran on Tuesday at Geelong. Take Me to the Moon, jumped and led, kicked away and won. But this horse was flying late and tempo was slightly against it, had to peel off the fence and was in a bit of an awkward spot, but it ran really well. I think it's one of those horses that we just put in for one start because I reckon next start over sort of 2,200 gets the job done.
All right.
And then we rip it out and probably never wins again. So that is Paul Pruska's runner, Ripper.
Straight from the Brown Booker.
The Brown Booker there. Oh, they're the Black Bookers. Sign up to Punters Light account to get free access to our Black Booker feature. You can sign up for your own Black Bookers for free with a Punters Light account. Head to punters.com.au and sign up today. And now it's time for the Self Trumpeters.
Yeah, the Brown Booker last week wasn't too flash. How'd your horse pull up after that performance too Friday night?
I pulled up fine, unfortunately. I was hoping there was an excuse. But it was just a disappointing.
So moods might have been right when he shipped it off?
Yeah, I'm waiting for the new trainer to send it even further, sort of north.
Might see it at Rockhampton soon. Self Trumpeters this week. One vote, Paul Joyce. So he was on Sky Racing covering the Gold Coast races last Saturday. He talked the talk, but he backed it up. So he was informed by his co-host there was a strong market move for Sir Carter in race 2.
Oh, yes.
And Paul replied, "I'm not surprised he's trimmed up, as I made him the best roughie of the day." So he reckons he moved the market, but Sir Carter got the job done, 13 into 850. So well done to Paul there. He gets one vote, and he's had a bit of a fill-up by the sounds of it. 2 votes, Andrew Hawkins. Plenty of people were tweeting about the Via Sistina news during the week. Of course, the sudden and somewhat shock retirement. Hawk posted, "Quite the 18 months for Via Sistina in Australia. Do they send her back to the UK? Say to Dubawi, ? Later on, when it was announced Via is indeed going to Dubawi, Hawk got around himself as he likes to do. He tweeted, right on the money, as in I'm right on the money, Via bound for a date with Dubawi. So he's just letting everyone know he called it.
There we go.
Have a look at me.
Thoroughly
3 votes. Mug Punter, a.k.a. Matthew Rose. I don't know if you've seen this bloke on Twitter. Posts his various meals to X. Most of them look bloody awful, to be fair. I feel sorry for his insides sometimes, the poor mug.
What type of stuff is he having?
Meat, large meat with like sort of gravy. You don't see a vegetable very often. There's always a can of Coke, breakfast, lunch or dinner. A lot of sour cream on almost every meal.
Really? So he's a food blogger as well as a tipster?
Somewhat, yeah, somewhat. So the mug angered the punting gods last week with his trumpeting. So he joined the chorus of punters boasting about their overs on Wall Woven. So everyone was doing it. And he posted, the mug is on it at 101 to 1. Then he posted a bet slip showing $10 at 100 to 1 for a return of $1,010 off a little $10 bet. So I think the mug was counting his cash. Then, of course, the scratching news came through and he was left with donuts. But I'm also giving him an extra vote for this little doozy from the mug. He posted, I was next to a super fan of the mug himself. He wanted to know everything, how I did form to why I keep backing Bjorn Baker runners and how I bet. So apparently there's a super fan of the mug out there. They do exist. So he gets 3 votes this week, the mug, and goes to joint leader after 2 weeks.
All very well deserved.
He won't
by
be
the
happy
sounds
with
of
that
it.
after doing his ass on Warwoven either.
Yeah.
Just rubbing salt into the wound. Sorry, mug.
Be a lot of disappointed punters that got the early price for no reward on the morning of.
Yeah.
Shattered.
There's a lot of declarations after the barrier draw too.
There's some good international racing as well around the country. We got Sha Tin, some superstars, including Kaying Rising and Romantic Warrior there, and also the Karaka Magic Millions down in New Zealand as well. So let's have a quick little squeeze at Kaying Rising. Unbeatable, you'd think.
You'd think so, yeah. I'd imagine probably $1.02 would be overs.
What, 17 and 2?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. 16 in a row.
Yes.
7. I thought that might be a quiz question.
Looking to break the silent witness record of 17 in a row, 21 years. The horses held that. So
and it's racing basically the usual suspects.
Yeah.
The horse that it keeps beating in Hong Kong. Fast Network and Helios Express likely to be battling it out for second again, distant second. So not really a betting race. Just sit back and enjoy the world's best sprinter strutty stuff.
had a bit of a gut feel that on the back of that, the quiz might revolve a little bit around Hong Kong. So I've done some
might have
prep.
been an answer, that one. So
Yeah.
Well, you're spot on because it is around
Is
Hong
it?
Kong.
you might,
Okay.
you might have to pivot.
Beautiful. And then we've got a couple of Victorian horses that have gone down to New Zealand, to Ellerslie. Alabama Lass is $3 favourite, but then the Hazes have sent down Arkansas Kid, $4.40, and Cindy Alderson's got Jigsaw, who's absolutely flying on the third line of betting at $6. You think we can steal the New Zealand's big race?
Possibly. Espionage is the other one. It used to race in Australia and they've shipped it over to New Zealand. There's a lot of Aussie jockeys involved too. Logan Bates, Ben Thompson, Damien Lane and Craig Williams are all going over there. I'm actually with Willow's ride, Alabama Lass. It's won 6 from 9 in New Zealand. Came to Australia for 2 runs early in the spring last year. So it was second to Barrackeel in the Group 1 Moya and pulled up with issues after the Manikato. So put a line through that one. I think it can bounce back on its home turf. Nice barrier. Very talented horse. But there's a roughie in this one, Browny. Platinum Attack at around $20.
Mm-hmm. Little push.
Yeah, started close to favourite in a Group 1 last start, but went back from barrier 16. Never really in the race, but form prior was very good and has the best jockey in New Zealand in the saddle, Craig Bear Grylls.
Okay.
Oh, Bear Grylls.
Platinum Attack, worth a little each way bet in the railway.
Plenty of great racing, not just here in Australia, but also over in Hong Kong and New Zealand. Now, Marcus, I picked right with the quiz.
You sure
now
have.
I just need to get the questions right. Over to you, great
That's the
man.
hard part.
I know there's a bit of some tough questions, and there's going to be a few closest twos. So this is your chance, Browny.
Yep.
So you don't have to get it spot on. And question number 1, it's about Kaying Rising. Kaying Rising's had an amazing story, but how much did his dam, Missy Moo, get purchased for? I'll give you a hint. It's an absolute steal.
Yeah, I'm going to go with 5,000.
Okay, I'll say 8,000.
500 New Zealand dollars.
Wow, really?
Correct.
There you go.
So technically, no one was near that.
he's close to 10.
Technically, that's a Lamby point there.
What about that?
Righty, now for Zach Purton's turn. Is the fastest jockey to reach 50 wins in Hong Kong, but he reached a monster milestone in October for overall Hong Kong wins. How many was that? And I can give the multiple choice.
Yep.
1,500, 1,700, 1,900, 2,000.
I'm going to go with 1,500.
Well, yeah, like 1,700 and 1,900 are not milestones, right?
Mm.
So if you said 1,500, I'll say 2,000.
The answer is 1,900. That's still a big milestone in 1,900 races.
Well, yeah, it's
that's a fair effort.
Okay.
It's like turning 39.
Yeah, I know. That's right.
Hey, if you play 350 games in the AFL, that's a milestone. How many Hong Kong Cups has Romantic Warrior won?
Hong Kong
4.
Cups, yeah. I think there's
Bang.
4. Damn.
1-1.
Part of
He's
my
in
prep.
it.
There we go.
Question number 4. It's about J-Mac. He has rode 123 Group 1 winners, but how many of those have come in Hong Kong? Closest 2 wins.
I'll go with 6.
No, it's going to be way more than that. I'm
Probably right.
going to say 12.
Brownie's closest with 14.
14.
14.
6 was a terrible guess.
Yeah, it's well unders. Well unders.
Question number 5.
So it's 2-1,
The
isn't it?
last question. The
Yeah.
Brownie's on top. This is the closest to as well, so
Oh.
you're still alive to salvage the draw. Come on, you can't lose the
I
Brownie.
know.
Jeez.
It's shameful.
When were our good friends at the Hong Kong Jockey Club founded?
Oh, Jesus.
Closest to.
1923.
Okay.
I'm going to say like 1958.
Lambie's closest. They were founded in 1884.
Oh,
18.
really? Okay, there you go.
Yeah, tiebreaker.
Access to
or is it
tiebreaker.
Just a draw.
No tiebreaker because none of you got the second question right, but I can think of something.
I've got one.
You can't.
Yeah, this is the question.
Jeez, I wonder who'll get that.
Zach Purton's ridden Carrying Rising every start bar 2. Who was the jockey that rode it for the other 2?
Oh.
Is this your prep, was it?
Yeah, I've done all this. But none of the questions you ask were part of my prep. It's like studying for the wrong exam.
Vincent Ho.
Karis Teton.
Nah.
Yeah, there you go. So,
Jeez.
very good. Draw. I'll take that.
draw.
A draw's actually pretty
that's
good
a good
for
result
me.
for you,
So.
Brownie. Didn't get many of those on the Gold Coast. So
No, we didn't get many at all. Now it's time for best bets. Lammy, we'll start with you.
Yes, I'm having my $100 play this week on War Machine Friday night into touchdown at Caulfield. I think it's in the last, race 10. So touchdown, I think, is a potential group horse
Yes.
going around in a benchmark 78. Back in trip, but I don't mind that because he's 5 weeks between runs. So back to 1600. And I think the favourite, or the second favourite, Yes I Know, very short at 3:30. Had every possible chance last week and wasn't good enough. So touchdown for me will get the job done. We just need War Machine as that first leg.
Same owners as Mr. Brightside in touchdown, and
Yes,
that was
as
meant to run.
Wayne the Wiz Orman likes to remind
Yeah.
people every week.
Was meant to run a couple of weeks ago, but it was during the fire period when they
Yeah.
couldn't get it actually to Flemington, could they?
So it's been, I think it's been back to the jump out since its last
Yep.
run and went pretty well. So very nice horse.
It is a
Touchdown.
nice horse. I'm going to do something similar. War Machine at $1.55 on Friday night into beast mode. So you get the $1.55 into 310. Hopefully painless watch there, jump lead and win. That's race 7, number 7 at Caulfield on Saturday. Beast mode, Marcus.
I don't really have one don't have an open bet. There was no good names for this weekend, but I am keen on Salty Pearl in the earlier race at Caulfield.
Beautiful. Oh, there's another episode of Whole Lot Tickets. Hope you enjoyed it. Have a good long weekend and back plenty of winners. See you next week.
Imagine what you could be buying instead. For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.